Welcome to Comfy Habit number 2. This is the only video I'm going to attempt to make tonight. I've attempted to make this video over the last 3 days, so this is the second part of TikTok issues. Now, as you know, tonight, or at least for the next 30 some odd minutes, it is May 5th. It is MMIWG, murdered, missing indigenous women. I did say that in reverse. It's actually missing, murdered indigenous women and girls. Alright, so you haven't seen the version part 1 or whatever. You will, because I'm going to post both parts tonight. I did not post them. That's why you're getting all of this extra information. So I'm going to attempt to give you guys a little bit of Native American history, so that you can understand. And I'm going to touch on something else while I'm on here. So first, we're going to touch on Native American history. For those who don't know, if you're Native American, you are biologically Asian. Alright? Understand that. You are biologically Asian. Our ancestors came across the land bridge in the Barren States. Some stayed in Alaska and became Eskimos. Others migrated down south all the way from Canada all the way to the tip of South America. Alright? So if you are of any of those tribal descents, you are also a Native American. The government has legally took that away from you and don't really count you as Native Americans, even though you biologically are, because your tribes actually came from America as they migrated down. Alright? Aztec, Incans, Mayans, Amazons, etc. For your South American tribes, those are the big ones that I can remember. The other ones I can't remember. I did do an encyclopedia thing on one of these videos that gives you all the tribes and where they are located. Okay. Now, for the young lady who said when they think you're Japanese but you're actually Mexican, she is why I'm making this, because she, like me, was ignorant to the fact that Native Americans are biologically Asian. Alright? Now, by saying that, you can track Native Americans all the way back into inner and outer regions of Mongolia. I lost a bet with a Korean. This is how I learned this way back in my 20s. And I wanted to touch on that because a lot of people don't understand that Native Americans are also biologically Asian, which causes a freaking problem amongst people who don't know. And if you don't know the difference, 9 times out of 10 you wouldn't know the difference if you put Native American and Mongolian regalia. It would look exactly like anything from another tribal regalia. Also, Mongolians were the aces of riding and archery with bows and arrows. Who else has that? Native American tribes also have that. They also have the ability to ride on their horses and shoot their bows with pinpoint accuracy without falling off the horse. Now, no other tribe of people have done that except Mongolians. And then when Khan was taking over everything, Mongolians that were already considered Native Americans were long gone. But they took their traditions with them. Traditions became a new thing as tribes split it and migrated and went to other areas in the Americas, also at the North Pole, Greenland, Iceland, and beyond, where you see people who have Asiatic features. It's because Native Americans traveled in those circles. So this would be the top of the Barren Straits. Alright? So this over here would be Siberia. You cross over here, this would be America. And I have these 3 things right here to simply put that out. So, South America, America, Canada, up in this region, North Pole, Iceland, Greenland. So if you go this way, Siberia, all of Asia, India, Africa, etc., Australia, Samoan Islands, Fiji Islands, Tonkin Islands, Polynesia, Hawaii, etc., etc. But by that time, you'll be like way over here. So, but you'll be coming from this direction. Up here, you have northern Siberia and higher up towards the North Pole, where more Inuit-based people decided instead of going this way, they went this way. And either or, by the time they got over here, which would be back in the Greenland and Iceland area, they came up here as well as up here. So that would explain Björk, who looks very Asian, but says she's 1,000% Icelandic. However, if she is 1,000% Icelandic, then she's 1,000% Inuit or Icelandic native. Alright? Now, so you have that little bit of history. And this is another thing that later, as there was a slave trade with Philippines as well as with Africa, which is why another group of migrants also mixed with their heritages of Mexican and Spanish and other things like that. Because Spain was conquering a lot of fucking people. All right, that's kind of why a lot of Filipinos speak Spanish and Tagalog, but they also speak English. I probably didn't say Tagalog right, but anyway. And it's the same thing with other countries. Because Spain and Europe was just kicking everybody's ass at the times of the incarcerated human beings, etc., etc. Now, let me end this on a not so peaceful but positive note. So, I had responded to a young lady who had the word gay written on her socks. And apparently, she does not claim herself to be a female. I am not going any further with that, but I wrote her a very interesting text, and her response was that she wasn't going to read all that shit. So, if you're listening, young lady, if you've happened to find me, I'm James Williams Jr., I'm a straight man. You look like a lady to me. No. And you are possibly a member of the Alphabet Squad. I have nothing against you or the lifestyle that you lead. But in my text, I specifically said that most straight men are not born with gaydar. I'm sorry if the word gaydar has offended anybody at this point. I'm only going to take like 3 more minutes of your time, I promise. Gaydar is a thing that I believe only women, biological women, are born with, where they can just point out a dude and say, yeah, that guy is gayer than a $3 bill. And more times than enough, they are probably right. But as a man, when I look at lesbians, I don't know who's the top, who's the bottom. I don't know who's butch and who's not. I just see women. You know, if I see 2 women kissing, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'm down. I'm down with that. I don't have a problem with lesbians. I love lesbians. And small story, I once almost got beat up by a black lesbian because I was hitting on her white lesbian girlfriend when I was in my 20s, but I didn't know they were together. I just thought they was girlfriends as in girlfriends, but not girlfriends as in lesbian girlfriends. All right? See, men, we don't have that radar, that gaydar, that sense of, are y'all together or are y'all together as girls that just hang out? They're not girls who go down on each other. I had no fucking idea. I cannot pick a gay man out in the crowd. I cannot pick a gay woman out in the crowd. But a woman can pick a gay man out of the crowd. And a woman can probably pick a gay woman out of the crowd. But not this guy. I wouldn't know a gay person if I smacked one in the face or if one punched me in mine. I really wouldn't care because if I'm smacking you in the face, you done already punched me in mine. Which means I got to do some shit in retaliation. Not that I'm promoting or inciting violence against anybody in the Alphabet Squad. I'm just making an obvious statement. But the thing is, women have this gift of gaydar. Men don't. Let me rephrase that. I don't. I would never have looked at a woman's feet in a bar. From here, and maybe a little bit of here, that's where my eyes are going. After I get past your hips, there's no need for me to go any further. So I'm not going to be reading your socks that are purple with the word in lime green that says gay. And for all I know, that could be your fucking name. All right, let me explain that for anybody who doesn't know that this is how much of an oddball I am. These are my black socks. This is an R for my right foot. This is an L for my left foot. So that way, when I put my socks on my feet, I know my left from my right. But there's no way in hell that if you have the word gay written on your sock, and I'm trying to hit on you at the bar, and you're a hot chick, do you honestly think that I'm going to be looking past your knees? Because unless you're like in a fucking leather suit or we're at a cosplay area, I'm not looking at anything past your ass. I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm going to see these hot ass boobs, this pretty face, and that little waist, and that big rumpity dump dump. You think I'm going to be looking at your fucking feet? I'm not into feet. No. Once I get to the hips, I'm ready for the drips. I ain't ready for nothing else. I'm not looking at no toes. They're not going in my mouth. You can sit on my face. But that's where it ends. Now, I'm not going to be looking at your feet. And if you're like someone who wants your toes sucked, I'm probably not the guy for you. But in her case, I'm not the guy for her at all because she liked girls. But just to make a long story short, I replied to her text with, men don't have gaydar. We cannot pick up on signals if a woman is a lesbian. You have to literally tell us. Oh, another fun fact. Once I was at a strip club in Canada, and I hit on a lesbian, but I didn't know she was a lesbian. I almost got to go home with her, but I was with the wheelchair basketball team, so that didn't really work out. However, she was more than willing to take me home, which made me wonder if she was a lesbian or if she was bisexual. Now you understand why I'm fucking confused on how to tell if a woman is a lesbian or a straight woman or a bisexual. I don't have that fucking mutant power. I really don't. So, here's the part where I apologize to everybody for going over the 5 minutes that I promised. I apologize profusely for going over the 5 minutes that I promised about stories about lesbians and gay women in strip clubs. I hope that this video has taught you something. I hope that you understand a few things. And TikTok, for God's sake, please, please, for you younger people, read the damn captions. You cannot rely on Google for everything. Granted, it has helped me out a little bit, So, therefore, I want to thank you guys for watching. It's been fun. This is Kung Fu Ever number 2. Be seeing you. Find me on Instagram and find me on TikTok. Much love. Gotta go.